Hey everyone, it's Flex here. Welcome to Build Series Sydney. And yes, we are still recording this amazing show from the comfort of our own homes because we don't yet have access to our studio. But nonetheless, I'm joined by my friends and the amazing, very elusive, mysterious Australian trio, Haiku. And the crowd goes wild.
Crowd goes wild.
This is really doing wonders for my mood. I'm just like up. I'm ready to go.
So,
yes. How could you be ready to go with your awesome hair?
Thank you. So I start all of these conversations in a very similar way because it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge that we're in really unprecedented times, and part of me just wants to have like normal chat and not talk about the big C. But let's talk about the big C. How has the last 6 months, I would say, been for you? Where have you all been isolating, quarantining? What's been keeping you sane? What's been keeping you feeling like you're an alive, connected human?
I've been, I was in Melbourne for the first quarantine that happened in Melbourne. And for me, we've been on tour pretty solidly for the last 3 years. And before that, I was on tour with other bands and then also working out in the desert a lot. So I haven't really spent more than 3 months in one place for about 8 years, or even longer. And so I have had the best time. And then COVID was kind of like the first time that I've spent a big chunk of time at home. And it has just done wonders for my being. I just have loved being at home, being still. I started meditating, started just like having regular studio hours and just taking some time off. And then as well as working, I don't know, I just feel like I found a nice balance of like being able to work a bunch but also enjoy life. Enjoyment is high. Yeah.
Sick. Yeah. And what about you, Claire?
I moved house when COVID hit. I moved from Sydney to the mountains, and so that was kind of a nice change. I was excited about my new place up here and moving my things, and also kind of wanting to be in lockdown with everyone else, not being able to go out. But I don't know, I think just because we've been touring so much, it was kind of a welcome break. And still staying close with family and not seeing anyone kind of thing. I think that would be a killer if we weren't seeing I think still being connected as much as possible has been important.
Yeah, it's one thing for everybody who is touring to be like, oh, it was so nice to get a break. It's just been so nice to chill and relax. And then it was 2 months later, we're all still chilling and relaxing. And then it was 4 months later and we're all still chilling and relaxing. What about you, Mia?
I had a really great time at the beginning. I had to learn how to record myself because we got given some jobs, some syncs and stuff that we some recording jobs that we had to do. And I've never recorded myself before. So I spent lots of time on GarageBand making really weird songs that will probably never see the light of day. And and then it was lovely. And then maybe the last few weeks have been a bit sad. I'm a bit sad now. But as I'm sure a lot of people are feeling.
Just girly things. We're all a little bit anxious and sad. But no, let's bring the energy up. You've brought my mood up. I want to bring yours up. Let's talk about your debut album, Haiku Hands. Because when I think about it, when I cast my mind back, Haiku Hands has been conceptualized and birthed and out into the world for 3 years, which is not a long time to have toured the world, released so much, not even so much music, but to have such core loving fans and audiences, and to almost have a reputation that precedes you. It's a lot to happen in 3 years. And now you've put all of that experience and all that creative prowess into a body of work that is meant to be the utmost reflection of you. How does it feel?
No pressure. It's been a long pregnancy, and I was saying, like, I was like, it feels like it's coming to a climax, like what we've been doing. And I'm like, it has to not be an anticlimax. It has to be like a good birth or whatever. But yeah, it just feels like, I guess, the birthing of everything we've been working towards over the last 3 years. And yeah, I'm excited about that feeling, that the release feeling where you're like, oh, it's done. And you can have that feeling of elation, like after you walk off stage. You've been anxious about going on stage, and then you do the show, and then you like have this euphoric feeling. That's what I'm hoping for when the album comes out.
I mean, now you've built it up. Now it has to be a euphoric feeling. It has to, you know, almost like mirror what it's like to be performing in the flesh, and I'm sure it will. Be like, what do you think this body of work will say about the three of you as, you know, as artists, but also as like a singular group? What is it meant to tell us about Haiku Hands? What are we going to learn?
I think that the album has quite a variety of experiences and emotions. Like, it isn't just a super hype dance album like the majority of our live show. Like, there are songs that are just really beautiful, kind of, I don't know, they're more tender pieces and more like emotionally connected. And I'm so excited for people to be able to hear them. It's like you have all these presents and you want to be able to like give them out. And yeah, I'm excited to be able to share all those different kind of aspects of our work. Yeah,
absolutely. And what I'm super excited for, you know, I've got to add it in, but so when we were on tour, it felt like maybe every 2 or 3 months ago, no, 2 or 3 months or so, the songs would change in some capacity. Like, you would add in, you know, some flavors here and there, some extra spices, mix in a little, you know, a little more oomph. And now it's been so long. I'm like, well, what's changed? And like, you know, you've got Sophie Tucker collaborating. Yeah. Can we hear of any other special collaborations, or are they the only ones?
We've definitely collaborated with a lot of producers. So each, pretty much, like, we've got some consistent people, but almost every different track is with a different producer. So yeah, that's exciting for me, because fellow nerds, fellow producer nerds. But yeah, that's about it that I can think of.
I'm also kind of happy that vocally it's like all us, like, as opposed to not many vocal features, because it's about debut and it's like, I guess it's our album, so it's nice to just go in strong. And within that, we like explore different sides of our delivery and energy. So hopefully it's diverse enough. There's enough going on here for there to be variation, I think.
Yeah, because within the three of you, it's not just like this is your first rodeo at doing the music thing. Like, Claire, you've already had experience prior. B, you've got another whole project, which I want to touch on before we dive more into Haiku Hands. So, Claire, can you give the world context for what your music experience was prior to being in Haiku Hands?
Yeah, I guess I was lucky. Well, I started out with as a guest, Very Green, on a song "Speak of the Devil" with Hermitude that went really well. And because it went really well and I got the chance to perform it live and get that, like, it just like was like a very fast trajectory into like all of a sudden you've done a song and it went really well. So I just loved it straight away. And then performing that across the world and everything, and I was like, this song is going to get old eventually, and that will be the end of my performing like career. And then I was like, okay, so I need to start making my own music if I want to keep performing. So that led to like me wanting to like be more proactive instead of waiting for someone else, like, someone else please ask me to feature, or like being in the hands of others, to just be like, okay, just do it. And yeah, went right in. But in terms of writing and stuff, this is the first thing that I've done. Like,
I love it. And B, it would be remiss of me not to ask you to tell us about your other project.
Oh, yes. I have another project called Karajara Kirirara. with some very amazing women from the Central Desert, from a community called Mullingar, which is halfway between Alice Springs and Darwin. And it's, I had been working out in the desert doing music programs with a lot of ladies from out bush, and I was about to kind of wrap it up because I have a solo project that I work on as well, and was wanting to do more on that. And my friend said, oh, you should come and meet this lady called Eleanor in this community. She's got a really amazing voice. And I met her, and I just was so blown away by her power and her voice and her energy. She's like she's a force to be reckoned with. And so we started writing music together, and then started working with her auntie and then her cousin, and yeah, we started Cuttajallar, and we have some really good things happening at the moment. Actually, I'm excited for it to kind of the next round of music and shows and things. Yeah.
I'm smiling so much, but also my left eye is watering. So the combination looks like I'm just really, really touched by whatever's happening. And I am, but also it's exaggerated by this one watery eye.
Yes, Lex. I actually forgot to say before that I was thinking about in ISO what's been happening, and I want to mention I feel really connected to people through collaboration. Like, we have quite a lot happening, so we're working together and we're working with different people. I started like a new band with my housemate and another friend, and I'm doing a bunch of projects. And yeah, I was thinking, why do I feel so happy? And I was thinking one thing is just being able to still work with people online and being able to collaborate and stuff with Cuttajallar. And anyway, I just wanted to add that in because I was thinking about it after.
I love it. And
yeah.
I mean, the three of you realistically keep such great company. Like I said, Haiku Hands has been a thing for 3 years. And even now you're managed by someone who also manages Tame Impala. You're signed to Diplo's label, Mad Decent. It feels as though if anybody should be having imposter syndrome, it's not you three, because just within, within your own network, it's obvious how well you are doing for yourselves. And I love to hear it. Mia, I want to talk about, I came across this video on the internet. So You Think You Can Dance Judge, and a renowned American choreographer, Brian Friedman, used Not About You in his series of dance videos on the internet. They amassed over 1.6 million views, which is so not chill. How is it feeling to hear your body of work outside of the context of you performing it?
Oh, so amazing. I think when we woke up one morning and saw that Brian Friedman had done this dance and taught all these dancers, I was like, oh my God, here's another one. Oh my God, here's another one. And people are still doing the same dance over and over again. And they are amazing. Like, there's so many amazing dancers out there. And I'm happy for them to just keep on doing, like, we're not on TikTok much, I think Claire is, but I'm happy for the dancers to do it because they're really amazing. Every single one. We watch heaps of them. So yeah, we're watching you.
It's so sick because I was couch potatoing, fusing with the fabric of my couch the other night, and I was like phone watching this show on Netflix called Work It, you know, when you're just on your phone but the movie's playing, and I was just dancing and bopping and singing along before I clocked what I was hearing. And it's so bizarre because if I'm this excited about hearing your music play on a Netflix show, I could only imagine what that feels like for you. It would feel so affirming. Like, the way I'm smiling, you would think that it was my song that was playing on Netflix. No, not quite. It's just so sweet.
This song. I love to this. Oh, yeah.
I had a funny experience. Similar, I was watching it and I was painting my nails and I heard the song come on and I was like, what? Why is my phone playing our song? And I looked down at my phone. I was like, nothing's there. And I looked up at the screen. I'm like, it just didn't, even though we were asked if it would be synced for that movie, it just didn't click. I was like, it's awesome. And it's most of the song and it's a mad dance battle. So love it.
It's just so synergist and it's super aligned. And we're running out of time and there's so much I want to ask, but I guess all I have to ask is what is coming up? The music industry has changed so much in the last couple of months and it seems like we can't plan for the future. But within this kind of space of the unknown, what is known? Where can we see you soon?
Well, we have a mad film clip coming out.
Oh,
Yeah, really soon.
For which track? Claire, Mia, B, anyone, tell me about it.
It's for fashion model art. And yeah, it was just a really fun collaboration film clip where heaps of awesome people got on board. Heaps of our friends are cameoing in it. And it's probably it is the most pro clip that we have done to date. Yeah, and it's like to announce the album. So that's certain, that's coming. The album's definitely coming. There's some remixes further down the line. We might try and organise some Zoom gatherings with some people who are interested in like hanging out with us on Zoom.
Please hang out with us.
And Yours and Ours is booked for January. So hopefully that goes ahead. And yeah, I think we're just like planning and scheming, trying to think of ways to connect. Like, how do we be with our people as much as possible at this time?
That is the theme of 2020, scheming and devising new ways to connect, even though it seems like we should be ultra connected anyway. Well, that brings us to the end of this perfect and glorious chat. I don't want to say goodbye, but I've been made aware of my rambliness, so I need to nip it in the bud before it nips me in the bud. But thank you so much for sharing. I know! Thank you for sharing your morning with me. I really, really appreciate it. Everyone, make sure you go and stream Haiku Hands' debut album, Haiku Hands. Comes out on Thursday, the 10th of September, 2020. Do the thing. I miss you all so dearly. Farewell.
Thanks, Jill.